Okay, so this is the logo that we had in Illustrator. Now, if I'm going to take this, when we left it before, we did finish and we saved it as a PSD Photoshop document. Okay, so I'm going to open up Photoshop and we'll take it from there. Should be able to just open it directly in Photoshop. It'll open it as a PSD, a Photoshop document, and what we're going to do is save it as a PNG. And the reason why we're saving it as a PNG, so that we can use the logo in its format with a transparent background. So there's Photoshop. I'm just going to put the file, open. There. Okay, so there it is. You can see it's got a transparent background in there. The F isn't transparent. Maybe we want to keep the F white, so that does give you white in colour. Maybe that's what we'll do. So the first thing I want to do is to put in my file then, so that I know exactly where it's going to go. So I'm going to go and save for web and devices. There it is. Okay, so make sure there's your PNG at the top here. And you've got other options in there, but what we're going to stay with is the PNG. And I'm going to go and file save. Alright, so I can just put my folder in place here. And I'm going to put it in web authoring and CSS. We'll go new file in place there, and I'm going to call my site file there CSS. Site demo 1 create, and in there I'm going to create just another one called working files. Right. And that's where I'm going to put my PNG logo, my working files there, and just save that. Okay, so that's going to come in now as it is, with a transparent background. We might want to use it later on in Photoshop. What we might do is come back to it and add more details to it and bring it in a slightly different way. Okay, all that's well and good. We finished with Photoshop. Now we're going to go over onto Dreamweaver. Okay, so we're setting up something from the beginning here. So file new, HTML, and create there. File save that, and again save that back to my web authoring CSS, and this is my site demo. Okay, and this is it's just gonna
Site demo 1.
yeah, site demo 1. Site demo 1.
Yeah.
And new folder, and this is our folder. Site. One. Great. Okay, and this is where all my HTML files go in here. I'm just going to call that index because that's my home page. Okay, and there we go. The next one, that's my code. And the next one then is my CSS. CSS. Just create down there. And we file save that one. So save that. And that we'll just call that index as well.
CSS.
Okay, let's make sure the two are linked. So I need to link my CSS to my HTML file here. So I'm just going to and my CSS styles. There's my link at the bottom there, and browse to my link in there. CSS site CSS demo 1 put in site file. There it is. There. Choose, and there you go. I can see now that that's just saying index.html, so I know straight away that I'm connecting to the right file, and I can go OK there, and then you can see that link coming in there nicely. So I'm in the right place. I'm happy with that. And we can move on.
Yeah.
Just open that up there. I'm just going to give this a title as well, because we're in. This is our mulberry forest. Mulberry forest. Kitchens. Right. So we're not going to see anything at the moment. All we're going to see is just literally that title. Okay, so let's make a start then in body and net. So the first thing we want to do then is we're going to bring in the logo as it is. For the time being, we'll bring it in on a coloured background, and we'll just have that sitting there. We'll have, what we'll do is we'll create a background area, maybe a container of a colour, and then we'll put the logo onto it, and then we'll take it from there afterwards, okay? So let's put our div in place, and we'll call it background. ID. No, it's a container rather than column. So I'm just going to call that main. Main. I just call it main. and inside that we'll have another one. And we'll call that logo. Okay, and the logo is within. So I'm just going to close that one and close that. Okay, so this is just one particular way. It's not the way of doing it. It is one way. What we'll do is we'll have a look at other possible ways of doing it as well, possibly creating a table maybe. Okay, so there you go. So that's okay as it sits there. We don't need any more details there. Save that, and let's go to index then. And then what we'll do in here then is we'll go to main. Sorry. Hash main. Then open, and then we'll give that a width, a height and a width there. Width then 800. Pixels. Height. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether to give it. Yeah, okay, we'll give it a height for now, 600. Let's say 600 then. And then we're going to go margin, auto. And we'll also go background. We'll give it a background colour, and that way we can see the logo as it sits against, with its transparency. Okay, we'll leave it there for the time being, and we'll go and have our break, and we'll come back to it afterwards.